Thousands of people have taken to the streets of West Bengal, India, to condemn the rape and murder of a female trainee doctor at a Kolkata hospital. Under the slogan, "Reclaim the Night," demonstrators called for more to be done to prevent violence against women. Smaller protests also took place in other cities around the country. Sexual violence against women is on the rise in India, with an average of 90 rapes every day reported in 2022. The protesters held a candlelit march at midnight, coinciding with the start of India's Independence Day celebrations. Many expressed frustration over the state of women's safety in modern-day India.
We feel that on the eve of independence, we women also need our independence back. And for a long time, we have suffered this sort of insecurity where we couldn't roam the streets at night, we couldn't go anywhere. Even if there was some kind of emergency, we couldn't leave our homes. We had to stay inside because of this insecurity, this fear of men outside who could potentially harm us.
Now, as a woman, I travel by public transport every day, and I get harassed each and every day. But we have normalized this. We think that it is normal to get harassed because it will happen. We are born as a biological woman in this country, and this will happen in our country. But I think enough is enough. Now it's time to like rise out in protest, rise in rage, because this cannot go on.
Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi expressed his pain over gender-based violence in India.
As a society, we have to seriously think about the atrocities being committed against our mothers, sisters, and daughters. There is outrage against this in the country. I can feel this outrage. Crimes against women should be quickly investigated. Monstrous behavior against women should be severely and quickly punished. That is essential for creating deterrence and confidence in society.
Let's get more on this now from our correspondent Adil Bhatt. He's in New Delhi. Adil, tell us more about this case.
Well, what has happened was that a 30-year-old trainee doctor was raped and murdered in Kolkata inside a state-run hospital where she was working. The doctor was on a 36-hour shift and she needed to take a break. She chose to go to the seminar room inside the hospital as there was no other place to rest, and this room did not have any CCTV camera. The next day, she was found raped and murdered. And after this gruesome incident, the police arrested an individual who has been charged with crime. He was an employee of the hospital, but he was not even an employee of a hospital, but he was a civic volunteer with almost access to every department in the hospital. Now, Terry, this incident has triggered mass protests, first by doctors, which then spread in different states like Delhi, Bombay, and Pune. Not only enough doctors, in fact, thousands of women marched through the streets last night protesting in West Bengal state. And as we have seen the report also, these protests were called Reclaim the Night March, where women joined by men and young boys in solidarity holding placards of protest and candlelight. So when they were protesting, a group of people disguised as protesters entered hospital premises and they vandalized property and pelted stones. So now this case has been transferred to the Federal Crime Agency on the demands of the protesting doctors.
Okay, but it's not just doctors who are protesting now. This has turned into a massive protest against violence against women in India. What are the protesters demanding exactly, Adil?
Terry, in the aftermath of this dreadful incident, protesters and also doctors in West Bengal and other states are demanding justice and safer conditions for medical staff working in hospital. The protesters are actually standing in solidarity with the doctors, And now we see the protesters have since gone on strike. They're demanding investigation and punishment for the accused. They're also demanding apology from the West Bengal police and accountability from the Chief Minister of the state to ensure safety for women and doctors on duty. And now the Association of Medical Doctors have written to Ministry of Health asking about a pending bill in the parliament that was framed in 2019 to protect doctors from assault inside the hospital. Terry, there have been several incidents where the patients or their family members have been attacked and if their wards do not survive. And in 2015, a report stated that 70% of doctors have faced some kind of violence while they are at work in India. So now we see angry protesters across India like protesting on this case.
So we've got the protests by the doctors, and we've got protests we saw young women in our, some sound bites from them there, protesting against violence that is used against women. We heard Narendra Modi just a moment ago, the Prime Minister, speaking about this subject too. What is the government in India doing to prevent such crimes and violence against women?
We saw in the video that Prime Minister Modi has promised strict punishment for crimes against women during his speech on Independence Day today. The health minister also met doctor association and also protesters and promised them to form a committee that would work on the central protection, which ensures safety and protection of doctors, and especially talking about female doctors at work. But as far as violence against women is concerned in India, all successive governments have failed to address this issue. Even the reports that are coming suggest that there have been an increase in crimes against women in India.
Adil, thank you very much. That was our correspondent, Adil Bhatt, in Delhi.